Hello, welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. We are going to play a new show of Baccarat, my favorite casino table game. Today is October 25th, 2023, and the time of this recording is 10:30 a.m. If you like my videos or find them interesting, please give them a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share these videos with others. And if you want to support my channel, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com backslash Juan Carlos Monsalve. You will also find all the scorecards, not only of this game but previous games as well, in my website juancarlosmonsalve.com. This information that I provide is free. It's available in YouTube videos, and also in my website, you will find the scorecards. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comment section. And I also would like to know where you are located, so please, in the comment section as well, write the name of the city, state, or province, and the country where you live. And thank you again, and enjoy the game. In front of me, I have the spreadsheet that I use to collect all the data. We see here P equal 1 is blue, this is for player. B for banker equal -1 or red, and T equals 0, this is for ties. I use this 1, -1, and 0 because I do math with these numbers. I will enter the information vertically here, the score for player, banker, and automatically the winner is going to show here, or if it's a tie, it's going to show here in this the same colors. On top, we see the totals, players, total bankers, total of ties, and the total of hands played while we are playing. The first card or the card that we burn, the name of the game Baccarat. On the right side of the screen, I have different scorecards. People used to keep track of the game using the card that is provided by the casino. Nowadays, very few people use them. We only go to for what the casino wants to show us. That is the screen, that's similar to the one that I have in front of me. But in this, on my games, I enter these 10 scorecards every 2, 3, 4, all the way to 11. Automatically will be populated at the same time that I'm entering the information on the left side of the screen. I won't stop to look at these strategies or these scorecards during the game. We will go over them at the end of the show. The first thing that we do on every game, the same as the casino, is to burn one card. This is the shoe that I use. I have eight decks here. The discard tray right next to it, and I already shuffle it. I shuffle it beforehand before I start recording. This card, the first card, the burn card, is a three of hearts. We burn three more cards besides this one for a total of four. I enter the card here. So three of hearts. And then we come here and we start with the first hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. This is a 9 and 4. That's a natural 9, 4. But I have noticed from these games, since I've been playing these games at home and recording them, most of the games start with the player winner. A couple of times I started with a tie. Um, I always had a perception that most of the times the first hand is a banker, but I'm changing the way that I see the game, just because the way that I'm playing here. So next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have one for player and three banker. I need a third card player, and it's a one. So I have player two, and banker gets the third card, and the third card is a seven, so it brings down banker to zero. Three plus seven, 10 equals zero. Okay, two players in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a six player and a stance, and seven banker and a stance. Six, seven. This is the third hand. On the top, you see the scores. Players two, one banker, zero ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a five player and gets a third card, and the third card is a seven, so it reduces to two player, and six. Because I have six, I need to get a third card since I got a seven. So the third card for banker is zero, so it remains at six. Two, six. That was a banker hand. Now we have two players, two bankers. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have four player and zero banker. I need a third card for both of them. The player gets another four, so it gets to eight. And banker had a zero plus five, it equals five. So that is another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player zero, banker five. We need a third card for player, and I have a six. So six player and banker with a five. We need to get the third card if we get anything from four to seven. So the third card for banker is a three, and the three plus five, that's eight. So this is a banker hand, six player, eight banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a seven banker and a stance, and player gets a third card, and the third card is zero. So player four, banker seven. That was another banker hand. Now banker went ahead, one more hand. Three players, four bankers, zero ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have banker seven and stands, and player has a one. He gets a third card, and the third card is another one. So one plus one, two, and seven is banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a four and banker has a six. I need to get a third card for player, and the third card is an eight. So four plus eight, that's two. Two player and banker, because we got a third card player eight. We don't get any more cards for banker. So two, six. That's another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player six and a stance. Banker gets a third card, and the third card is a zero. So a player has six, and banker has one. That was the player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3 and banker has a 5. I need a third card for player. And now we have player has 5 and 5. We don't get any more cards since we have it 2. So 5. This is the first die of the 2. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 3 and banker 1. We need a third card for both of them. We have 3 plus 9, that's 2 for player, and banker, the third card, is a 9 plus 1, it's total 0. So this is a player hand. 2 0. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 7 and it stands. Banker gets the third card and it's a 0. So 7 player and 1 banker. 0 plus 1. That's 1 banker. 7 1 player. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have now a natural 9 player and 0 banker. Now players went ahead 7 6 with 1 tie. First card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player and 0 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker, 4 player. So this is a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 1, banker has 3. The player third card is a 4 for a total of 5 player. And banker gets a third card and the third card is a 0, so 5 3. That's a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have player 1 and banker 2. I need a third card for both of them. Player has a 1 and remains a 1 as we get a 0 as the third card. And banker, we have 2 plus 3 equal 5. And that was a banker hand. 1 5. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 0 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 4 player and 4 banker. I need a third card for player and it's another 4. So 4 plus 4 is equal 8 and player banker gets a third card. If we get anything from 2 to 7, so we get a third card for banker and it's a 1. So 5 banker. So 8 player, 5 banker. That's another player hand. First card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 0 player and 4 banker. The third card for player is a 9. And before we don't get any more cards, so only we hit the third card for banker if we get anything from 2 to 7. So banker remains at 4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural 8 player and 3 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker and 4 player. 4 player and natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player 6 and stands and banker 8, natural 8. So 6 player, natural 8 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 4 player and 3 banker. I need a third card for player, and the third card is a 1 for a total of 5 player. And banker gets a third card, and it gets 1 plus 3 is a total of 4. The only time that we don't get a third card for banker is if it's an 8. So in this case, yes, we have to get a third card. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player 2, banker 7, banker stands with 7, and player has a third card of 0 plus 2 is 2 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 1 player, 1 banker. We get a third card for both of them. The third card for player was 0, so 1 remains at 1 with player, and banker goes to 6 with the last 5 that he got. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 4, 7, banker 7 on his hands. Player gets a third card, and the third card is a 5 for a total of 9. 9 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 1 and banker 2. I need to get a third card for both of them. This one goes to 9 on the player side. And banker with 2 plus 9 is equal 11, meaning 1. 9, 1, last hand with player 1. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, player 2 and banker 3. Next hand for player is a 0. Because we have a 0, if we have a 10, we need to get a third card for banker. And the third card is a 9. It reduces that 3 to 2. And player remains at 2. 2 player, 2 banker, that's a tie. This is the second tie of the 2. We have 16 players, 12 bankers, 2 ties for a total of 30 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 0 player and 2 banker. Player, the third card is a 1, and banker has a 2. The third card is a 0, so it remains at 2. So it is 1 player and 2 banker. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 6 player and stands, banker 4 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So 6 player, 4 banker. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 3, banker has a 5. The third card for player is a 6. For a total of 9 player. Banker has a 5, and we get a third card if we get anything from 4 to 7. So the third card is an 8. So 5 plus 8, 13, meaning 3. So that was a player hand, 9, 3. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 0, banker 7, banker 7 and it stands. And the third card for player is a 9. So 9 player, 7 banker. There was another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. That was a natural 9 banker and natural 8 player. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. That was a 1 player and banker has a natural 8. So that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 stance. Player has a 3 and get a third card and it's another 3. So 3 plus 3, 6 for player and banker has a 9. There's another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker again has a 7 and a stance, and player 3 gets a third card, and the third card is a 2 for a total of 5. 5 players, 7 banker. We have 3 bankers in a row. We have total of hands 38. Of those 20 players, 16 bankers, and 2 ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player 5, banker 4. Maybe the third card for player, and the third card is 5, so it reduces to 0. And the 4 banker, we get a third card if we get anything from 2 to 7. So we have a 5, so we get another card. And we have 4 plus 2 equals 6, 6 for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 0 player, 4 banker. We need a third card for player, and the third card is a 5. And because we have a 4, we get a third card for banker if we get anything from 2 to 7. So we get a third card, and the third card is a 1. So 5, 5. This is another tie. 5 player, 5 banker. So we have three ties on these two. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 0 player, 0 banker. Negative. The third card for player is 3. The third card for banker is another 0. So 3 players, 0 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 7 and a stance, and banker has a 3, gets a third card, and the third card is an 8, so it reduces the 3 plus 1, 11, that means 1, so 7, 1, and this is a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have player natural 8, banker 4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has another 7 stands, and player has a 2, and the third card is a 0. So 2 player, 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 6 player and stands, banker 6 and stand. This is another tie, 6, 6. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 banker, and player is 2. So 0, excuse me, 2, 8. It was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 0 player, 2 banker. I need a third card for both of them. The third card for player is a 7, and the third card for banker is a 0. So player 7, 2 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a natural 8 banker, 3 player natural 8 banker. It's another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5 player, banker 6. I need a third card for player, and it's a 9. And that 5 plus 9, 14, meaning 4. And banker doesn't get any more cards. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5 player, 2 banker. We need a third card for both of them. We have player 1 more, and it gets 6. And the banker has a 0. So 6 player and banker 2, 6, 2. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 3 player, 3 banker. I need a third card for player, and I got a 3. Excuse me, 9. So 3 plus 9, that reduces player to 2, and banker has a 3, and it gets a third card, and the third card is an 8. So 3 plus 8, 11, meaning 1. So that was a player hand. 2, 1. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player 5, banker 4, and need a third card for player, and it's a 6. And because I have a 4 on the banker side, if I get anything from 2 to 7, I get a third card, so the third card is a 2. So this one player went from 5 plus 6, 11, meaning 1, and banker 6. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a 6 player and natural 8 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a player 5, and the third card is a 0. So it gets remains at 5, and because we have a 10, we have a 6 a 6 banker, Next hand, first card player. Okay, we're playing in hand number 55. We have banker second card is a 0. We have two player, banker 4. The third card for player is a 9. And we have a banker 4. We only get a third card if we get anything from 2 to 7. So no more cards. The total for player is 1 and banker 4. That was another banker hand. We have total players 26, 25, 26 players, 25 bankers, 4 ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 2 player, 4 banker. We have a 6 player for a total of 8. And banker, we have a 4. We get a third card if we get anything from 2 to 7. So the third card for banker is another 4. So it is 8, 8. 8 player, 8 banker. That was another tie. Tie number 5 of this shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, and banker. We have 6 player in stand, 7 banker in stand. So 6 player, 7 banker. That was a player hand. Now we have a 26, 26. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has a 0, and banker has a 0. I need a third card for both of them. The third card for player is another 0, and the third card for banker is a 5. So 0 player, 5 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 and stands. And that was banker, and player has a 3, and the third card is a 0. So 3 player, 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have player 3, banker 3. Need a third card for player, and it gets a 5. So a total for player is 8, and banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So 8, 3. That is a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 2 player and 0 banker. I need a third card for both of them. The player goes to 5, and banker, the third card is 3. So player banker gets 3. 5, 3. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player has 1, banker has 4. The third card for player is 0. So 1, we don't get any more cards for banker, and it remains at 4. So 1, 4, that was a banker hand. First card for player, banker, player, banker. Player has 1, banker has 4. The third card for player is 0, so it remains at 1 and 4. No more card for banker since we got a third card for player is 0. Um, Next one, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 3 player, 2 banker. Player gets a third card 0, so it remains at 3, and the third card for banker is a 7 for a total of 9. So 3, 9, that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a player 1, banker 3. The third card for player is a 9, so it goes to 10 or 0. And banker with a 3, we get a third card, and the third card is a 6. So 0, 9, 9 banker. So there was another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. 7 player and stands, banker 5 and gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So 7 player, 5 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 4 player, 5 banker. The third card for player is 0. So 4, and we don't get any more cards for banker. So we have a 5 banker. Next, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 0 player, 0 banker. I need a third card for both of them. The third card for player is a 0, so it remains at 0, and banker gets another 0. So this is a 0, 0, another tie, the sixth tie of the shoe. Total hand 68, 29 players, 33 bankers. First card player, banker, player, banker. Now I have a natural 9 player and 6 bankers, so that is a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have player 5 and banker 0. The third card for player is a 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, meaning 2. And the third card for banker is a 3. So 2, 3, that's a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. That's a natural 9 banker, and player has 3. So 3, 9, another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. That's a natural 8 player, and banker has 5. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have player 0, banker 1. I got the cut card, so we complete this hand and we play one more. The third card for player is a 5, and we have one banker. We get a third card, and the third card is an 8. So 5, 9. So that was the banker hand, and we play one more hand of the shoe. First card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 player and natural 8 banker. So the total hands of the shoe were 74, 32 players, 36 bankers, 6 dice. We come to the end of the shoe, so we remove the remaining of the cards. And the cut card, we put it here. We shuffle the shoe later. I just want to go over the different scorecards that we keep track. We have every 11 to see if there are any trends here. I see four players in a row here. I see two players, one banker, three more players, four bankers in a row here, five bankers in a row here. This is the 1 to 11. Um, this one 1 through 10. I see three bankers here, three bankers here, five bankers here, four players here, three bankers, five players in a row, three players in a row here. On the scorecard every nine, I have four bankers here, four bankers here, five players here, three players, four players, five bankers, three bankers, three bankers. And every eight, I see here four players, five bankers here, three bankers, three players, three players, four players, four bankers, four players here. Every seven, I see every five, right here, five players in a row, three bankers in a row, three bankers in a row, three bankers, three players, three bankers here. Every six, I see four bankers in a row, five bankers in a row, three players in a row here. Every five, I see here the six bankers in a row, four bankers in a row, four bankers in a row, five players in a row. Every four, I have six players in a row here. I see here five bankers in a row, bankers in a row, three bankers in a row. Every three, I see four players in a row here, five bankers in a row here, three players in a row here. And every two, I see at the end here is three bankers, four bankers, three bankers here. I see here five players in a row, three players in a row here, three bankers in a row. Okay, this is the end. You can check your own strategies, see how good they are in this with this shoe. You have the information here in the video, and also I will post this scorecard in a PDF form in my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. Again, if you like this video, if you think that this information is helping you to verify your own strategies and create new ones, you can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel. You can watch the video from the beginning to the end. That will help me a lot. Subscribe to my channel. I need subscribers. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. You can help me with that. If you want to support my channel, you can doing it by going to buymeacoffee.com / Juan Carlos Monsalve. Um, this is the end. So thank you for watching my videos, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you.